Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books and marketing expert covering the budlight treatment. Grocery chain faces boycott over illegal job postings. Let's get into the story. Before we do, please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate you guys. Coming from Sportskeeda, quote, the Bud Light special treatment, Aldi faces mass boycott over National Procurement Officer job posting. This is a really interesting story because the company that's getting pushback here is Aldi, an international grocery store chain. The job posting was through an employment agency that only hires for DEI-based inclusive positions. They claim that they prioritize for DEI, but in reality, it's clear they do not hire anybody who's not a DEI person. From Libs of TikTok, who really brought out a lot of attention on this, breaking, Aldi USA promises to break the law and discriminate against straight white people in their hiring. They're looking to hire a procurement specialist and will prioritize everyone except straight white people. They're also committed to following the principles of DEI. DEI is illegal and racist. Elon Musk agrees and comments racism is racism no matter who it's directed at. Aldi has the standard posting of diversity, equity, and inclusion on their website saying, "Diversity strengthens us. Our goal is to build a space where everyone who walks through our doors feels welcome. That means upholding our guiding principles of diversity, equity, and inclusion and enacting change that lasts in our communities. Through this commitment, we celebrate both employees and customers who bring different backgrounds, perspectives, and experiences from all walks of life." And the job posting itself says this: they're looking for a full-time mid-senior level executive with skills in procurement, retail operations, and other related skills. In every job post from this DEI nonprofit hiring agency, and that's what Jobs for Humanity is, they always say this same block of text. Jobs for Humanity is partnering with fill in the blank to build an inclusive and just employment ecosystem. Therefore, we prioritize individuals coming from the following communities: refugee, neurodivergent, single parent, blind or low vision, deaf or hard of hearing, Black, Hispanic, Asian, military veterans, the elderly, the LGBT+, and justice-impacted individuals. This position is open to candidates who reside in and have the legal right to work in the country where the job is located. And it's job position after job position from Jobs for Humanity. It's a separate nonprofit. It's an employment agency. And the companies can do this. Big companies can hire an employment agency to fulfill a position. As far as how much discrimination is going on, the company is, of course, aware of what's going on when they're hiring for this position because they hired this agency specifically. But how does that protect the company from getting sued for illegal hiring practices? It's interesting. It's a different legal question. I really haven't come across an agency like this before. It's a fascinating story. They say the same thing on their YouTube channel. Jobs for Humanity is an employment platform for inclusive employers to hire top diverse talent. We prioritize ethnic minorities, single moms and parents, the neurodivergent, LGBT, veterans, refugees, the visually impaired, baby boomers, and returning citizens. From the New York Post, new job site reaches out to underserved job seekers. And this is the company. This is what they're all about. Aldi, a German supermarket chain, has triggered widespread backlash over a recent hiring post focused on only emphasizing diverse talent. In a LinkedIn post on February 2nd, Jobs for Humanity announced they have partnered with Aldi US to build an inclusive and just employment ecosystem. Jobs for Humanity is an employment agency that aids inclusive employers in recruiting top diverse talent. In the post on LinkedIn, Jobs for Humanity announced Aldi is looking for a procurement specialist, so basically a buyer. That's what they do. They buy from other companies in Dublin, Ohio. And they would only prioritize applicants from diverse communities. The post enraged some social media users who believe the supermarket chain is discriminating against straight white people, which there's no question that they're discriminating against certain specific people. They list the people that they're willing to consider and exclude the ones they're not willing to consider, at least for what they say is prioritizing for the position, which means, are you crazy? Don't send us your resume. We're going to just ignore it. Libs of TikTok, who shared the post on Twitter, said, quote, they are looking to hire a procurement specialist and will prioritize everyone except straight white people. In response to the post, a social media user suggested that they give the supermarket chain the Bud Light treatment and boycott the brand. Last year, Bud Light's partnership with transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney prompted a conservative backlash, and normal people stopped drinking Bud Light. German supermarket chain Aldi is facing calls for a mass boycott after the U.S. franchise, looking for a procurement specialist in Ohio, partnered with Jobs for Humanity to prioritize recruitment of top talent in diverse communities. The post on the Jobs for Humanity LinkedIn page made it clear what they're looking for and what they're not looking for. In response to the post, some people noticed, of course, they're being really discriminatory against straight white people and called for a mass boycott of the supermarket chains in the U.S., saying, "Folks, it's time to boycott Aldi's." Also saying, "What a shame. I really liked Aldi and spent a lot of money there. Now I have to boycott them. I have no choice. I cannot in good conscience shop somewhere that discriminates against me." Yeah, that's a pretty good attitude to have. You can't give business to the people that hate you. And another user says, "Boycott Aldi, they are breaking federal law." Libs of TikTok, who shared the post on Twitter, also pulled up Aldi's commitment to the diversity, equity, and inclusion program that promises to include people of different races, ethnicities, religions, abilities, genders, and sexual orientations who have been historically discriminated against in the realm of employment opportunities. In the wake of the backlash, Jobs for Humanity has stopped accepting applications on their LinkedIn, which currently only has 4 applicants. Here's who these people are, coming from the New York Post. New job site reaches out to underserved job seekers. When a financial crisis hit Lebanon in the Middle East in December 2019, former East Village resident Roy Baladi felt a personal connection. As a native Lebanese who moved to the U.S. when he was 17, the 37-year-old decided to make a tangible difference. So last March, while working for enterprise recruiting platform company Smart Recruiters, he created an online employment search site, Jobs for Lebanon. As the Lebanese started to successfully find employment through it, Baladi decided he wanted to expand the vision. The result is Jobs for Humanity, an innovative website that aims to ignite a global employment movement for 6 underserved communities. And he is featuring this website internationally, and it looks like they're having some success getting jobs posted internationally. So if this is a crime, it's going on internationally. He's focusing on Black leaders, the blind, single moms, refugees, citizens returning from incarceration, and the neurodivergent, such as those on the spectrum with autism, Asperger's syndrome, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, dyslexia, and more. Launching on March 22nd, the worldwide site's goal is to create a community of people who help one another get jobs all around the world, said Baladi. Einstein was on the spectrum. Richard Branson is dyslexic. Barack Obama was raised by a single mom, said Baladi. Quote, "The people who have known pain are the ones who transform the world. If we're able to create access to them, then the world is shifting into a much better place. The site is free for companies and candidates. Although that seems to have changed because on their site, they talk about donating a certain portion of their revenues. In one place on the site, they actually say they're going to donate 20% of their revenues. Another place on the site, they say they're donating 15% of their revenues. So they are getting some revenues. So this must have changed in terms of what their business plan was. Once job seekers have applied to a job, a team screens candidates, presenting the top 3 resumes to employers for each role. Current listings include positions for a content writer at Booking.com, a paralegal at Nielsen IQ, and a data scientist at Spectrum in Stamford, Connecticut. Baladi invites people to apply to jobs, post jobs, and volunteer with us, since the operation is currently 90% volunteer operated. More than half of their team comes from the causes they support, with the goal of having a company with a core team that gets paid. Jobs for Humanity's expert-led team will also conduct sensitivity training for employers to allow them to extend their diversity and inclusion. This training, which is currently free, is the secret sauce to connect the two, said Baladi. A frequently asked question from the employer is, what job should I publish for the blind? If I interview a blind candidate, can I send a follow-up email and are they able to read it? Blind people have assisted technologies to read screens, but employers don't know that, so we're bridging the gap. I mean, that sounds harmless. The issue is, don't exclude people based on their race, their gender, or their sexual identity, or their religion, or whether or not they've been arrested. You can't do that. Securing any needed accommodations is also key to ensuring success on the job. Quote, "It's important for job seekers to know they have access to meaningful jobs," said Sally Rumble of Fort Greene, head of community and marketing at Jobs for Humanity. Quote, there's been a wall up in a way that we have to treat those who are different because we don't have the understanding. It's not going to happen overnight, but change is coming. Employers are having internal conversations about diversity and inclusion and belonging. Senior Manager of North American Talent Acquisition at Nielsen IQ said, quote, it's exciting. Diversity and inclusion is part of the fabric of our organization. We have existing employee resources that allow us to tap into various communities, so this is an extension of that. Inclusion is not just a one-off training. It's an ongoing activity. It's our privilege to continue to move toward inclusion across all backgrounds. Unfortunately, many with viable talent are currently on the bench. According to the Department of Labor, in 2020, only 17.9% of people with a disability are employed. This untapped talent pool encompasses people eager and ready to work, like Ryan Lowry, a 20-year-old student with autism whose heartfelt cover letter on LinkedIn went viral. There are New York City organizations aiming to redress that. Martha Jackson, Assistant Commissioner of Employment and Business Development at the Mayor's Office for People with Disabilities, points to her site, New York City at Work, which connects job seekers with disabilities to open positions. Quote, the roster of talent is remarkable. It's the largest untapped talent pipeline, not just in the city, but also in the U.S., said Jackson. We empower individuals to get the jobs that they have the ability, skills, and goals for. Businesses say we don't know where to get the talent, but we do. Job seekers outline career goals with a relationship manager through resume sessions, interviews, and workshops with topics such as how to present yourself virtually to time management. AHRC New York City also offers employment services for New Yorkers with disabilities. Their outreach ranges from job coaching to interview prep to job shadowing. Director of Corporate Partnerships and Business Development at AHRC New York City builds relationships with employers. Often applicants don't go through the traditional interview process. But we apply together, she said. Job seekers work with a coach, which includes job shadowing for a few weeks after the job begins. If the job is at McDonald's, the job coach wears a uniform and integrates with the worksite. If McDonald's said, we need you to stock 20 boxes by noon, the job coach helps that person come up with a strategy on how to do that. JobPath also helps New Yorkers with disabilities find jobs, connecting participants to trained staff. Often they'll create a visual resume of photos or videos showcasing the candidate's skills. Quote, it's a video of someone making a smoothie, but watching how they cut fruit can be embedded into that visual resume. JobPath works alongside the person for at least 2 weeks after staffing a new position. Quote, every time someone gets a job, it's a celebration, said Rosen. Work means so much to all of us. People with developmental disabilities often don't have the opportunity to interact, but in the workplace, everyone's on the same team. Here's what Jobs for Humanity is telling employers. Employers receive tangible support to reach their sourcing and diversity, equity, and inclusion goals all at once. They gain access to a deeply talented pool of job seekers from all types of underrepresented communities, ethnic minorities, single moms, LGBT+, neurodivergent, refugees, returning citizens, those are people who are coming out of jail, military veterans, baby boomers, blind, low vision, and deaf or hard of hearing, and other. We aim to submit at least 10 qualified applicants to each job posting, whether they enter the employer's ATS or they get invited to events, talent communities, depending on the company's needs. They also offer inclusion training. Employers receive diversity, equity, and inclusion coaching directly from experts in each community in order to keep their knowledge of how to create an inclusive hiring process and workplace for people from all walks of life. The training is enlightening. It's open to all interested employees at an organization and is a lot of fun. It's an immersive experience that includes getting paired with 2 job seekers from underrepresented communities in your city and in your field of work. You'll then get to apply what you've learned to help them through their job seekers. That's the most effective way to build empathy, retain what you've learned, and apply it to literally change 2 people's lives. You also get sustainability. It's important for us to be self-sustainable, but we keep costs unreasonably reasonable, and we aim to distribute 15% of our revenues back to the nonprofits we partner with. So what this employment agency is doing is, it's taking the window that was created for disabled people who, of course, do have a difficult time finding jobs. They have limited skills. They can have multiple issues, physical, mental, other kinds of issues, dependencies, all kinds of things. They take those opportunities that exist in society for people who really do need that kind of help because they're not fully functioning. And then they apply it to exclude everyone except who they consider to be part of the diversity, equity, and inclusion group. So you can take autism, you can take people who are physically disabled in some other way, and leverage those programs to push people of only certain races, genders, and sexual preferences over just regular people who are also trying to get by. That's what this agency is all about. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Always love to see your ideas. Please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.